welcome to Stock Talk. This is your host, Scott. Hope you've had a good weekend, Labor Day weekend here in the States. And so it's Monday, the market's closed. Did want to do a recap of what we did last week after our last video. So did make some trades, cashed in on my NVAX, as the title says there. But that was just in my IRAs. I still have it in my cash account, but actually did buy right back in the following day. Kind of expected a pullback on Friday, and that's exactly what I got. So went in and bought right back in. So we're going to talk about those trades as well. Let's just look at the overall week of our portfolio and see what's going on in the market, what we can expect for this week. So let's go ahead and go over and look at our portfolio. So here's our portfolio. Let's go ahead and take a look at that. You can see here Bitcoin is up this weekend. Of course, it trades all the time. So it's up over 50,000, up to 51,000, getting very close to 52, which will affect our HUT and our MSTR as it has been. As you can see, it did on Friday as well. As Bitcoin goes up, you can expect these to go up as well. I actually had some of that HUT at one time. We did sell out that last week or week before last. I wished I'd held on to it now, but that's the price you pay when you cash in on your things when you're retired and you're trying to make sure you capture that money. But we've made good money on it, on the stocks, as well as some option trading I've been doing on it. So MSTR, same thing. But let's go ahead and take a look at that in case anybody wants to trade it. What you look for on these two is a pullback in Bitcoin and a red day, and then at some point you may want to get in on any of these, but it's going to follow Bitcoin. So here's a 5-day look at that. You can see here, nice run up there. It's still going. It's going to actually, if the Bitcoin price holds, I expect these to be up again on Tuesday if the price holds. All right, so very good run. Look at the volume on these things. We're talking 31 million. That's a lot of volume as compared to the 4 million normal. So that means there's some folks interested in that one. It could go on and keep going. High of the year is $13, so we're still a ways from that. So could be a little good gain if we get back to the highs. Which if Bitcoin keeps going to that, 64, I was probably around when this high was if I had to guess. But not a bad one to think about if you're trying to play some Bitcoin in your IRAs or whatever. MSTR, same thing. Let's go ahead and pull that one up. You can see here, it did pull back a little bit. It still had a green day, a nice green day. But you can see the 5-day here. It's a little bit more choppy than the HUD 8. It's a little bit more choppy here. You can see up and down, up and down. Anytime you see this one get into the red, you might want to, if you're just trying to make a quick trade, sometimes you can get in and out pretty quick on this one. You can see here the 696, 694 in the last 5 days, 690, anywhere around there, and you can probably make a little money. But that's a lot of money to risk. So I don't really want to risk that money. Of course, percentage is percentage, so that doesn't really matter. If you got $1,000, you could buy $1,000 worth of HUD, or you could buy $1,000 worth of MSTR, and percentage is percentage. So if it goes up 10%, you make 10% on your money. All right. So anyway, that's a good little move there that you see on and off there. That you could trade that if you were a trader. I'm not necessarily a trader, but I will get in and out of these positions as they make money. Okay. So HUD, MSTR, having a good week. And here's NVAX. NVAX is the one we did sell out of. This one we sold. Let's see here. We sold on the 2nd. We sold out on the 2nd, which I believe was a Thursday. And let's go ahead and pull up the 5-day chart. You see the normal volume here. It's not a little bit slow on Friday. But let's pull up that chart. We sold on Thursday, which is up here somewhere. We sold at an 8.6% gain in both IRAs, and we'd had those stocks about 2 weeks. So not a bad gain for 2 weeks. That's why we had to take that. Anytime we get that kind of gain in 2 weeks, we're going to have to take it. Being retired, of course, we've got the cash account as well, and we did buy some of this. Turned around and bought it back, and we've been buying it in all accounts. Let's see here. We bought the cash account. We bought 251 to 253.78. All right, 251, 253.78. I think it was in the cash account. Yeah, last week. So we bought it a little bit higher than where we are now in the cash account, but we wanted to go ahead and, since we were getting rid of our shares in the IRAs, we wanted to go ahead and put some shares in that cash account. And we're pretty much all in on the cash account now, which is good. We like being there on that cash account because we still think this one has room to go, and that 250 is a high place to be buying. But I really feel like this thing's going to be at the 300 mark once the news comes out about some of these approvals. So what else did we do with that one on 9/3, which was Friday, I believe? We actually bought back in. You see, this is what I was kind of thinking might happen. As we sold out on Thursday, I was thinking, well, Friday is a holiday weekend. People will be taking profits, and exactly what I thought happened, and it dropped, and we got some good buys back in. We bought in around 243 to 249, probably an average of around 247. So we're right back in the IRAs, same number of shares that we had before that we sold out on the previous day at a higher level. So we were happy with that. So we actually gained a little bit on those share prices. So back in pretty much normal. We're actually probably in a little bit more now because we did fill up that cash account that we were wanting to do anyway. So next week after next, hopefully we can get right back out. And we're not going to waste any time. If it goes up 8% in that the IRAs, we're going to cash out on them. That's just what we're going to do. But the cash account we're going to try to hang on to because I just don't really want to take a tax hit again. We've had a pretty good year outside of IRAs, so that means you got to pay the tax man, which we want to try to avoid some of that and carry it into the next year if possible, which I think it may be very possible with this one because I think it's going to run up at some point to that 300, the all-time high, which is 331 here. And if it doesn't get there before the end of the year, that's fine too, because we're going to keep that cash account like it is. Now, unless it just goes up, if it goes up in a day 20, 30% or something crazy, we're going to have to just probably take some money off the table as usual. Just even if it's in the cash account, that's just what we do. You're never going to go broke paying that tax man. So that's what my buddy likes to say. So I'll just repeat that. TLRA, as you can see here, TLRA red as usual. Let's take a look at that 5-day chart on here. It did have a little bit of an up week and sometimes did pull back, but did close ahead of last week, so that's good. Nothing really going on there. Let's take a look at the volume. Yeah, see the volume's 13 million versus the 21 million normally. So no real volume on that. Nikola, let's take a look at that. Nikola, let's see, 5-day chart. Nikola had a little bit of an up week. Again, about like Tilray, no real volume there either. So nothing to get excited about on either one of those. It's going to take some real news to get those things going. But you can see here, we had a pretty good week being able to cash out on that NVAX in such a short period of time. We're happy with that. Just took a look at the Dow. The Dow so far this year is up 15.56%. The S&P up 20.75%, which is really good. And the NASDAQ just right below that at 19.21%. And the good thing is that we're beating all three. So that's what we like to do. That's how we kind of measure ourselves. How are we doing according by these markets? Are we beating the markets? So we're really thrilled about that. We are. And that's always the goal, to beat the markets, beat the banks. The banks are easy. The markets are a little tougher. but we're doing it, and we are happy. We are also sitting at 74% cash. So we are sitting pretty far as a pullback goes. We would love nothing better to be able to get some good bargains, but we're trying to close out this year. We're really doing good for the year, so we want to close out the year on a good note as well. We had a really good year last year, so to follow that up again would be great. But we got a long ways to go. We're still just in September, and September has not always been the best month, but usually the October, November, December, those are the good months that I've noticed over the years I've traded. It seems like we have a little, what they refer to as a Santa Claus rally, but I'm kind of hoping for that. But I'll take a pullback too. We're sitting at that cash, got all that cash on the sideline, but we can afford to do that since we're up this year. So we don't normally like to have that kind of cash on the sideline, but usually I like to try to keep a couple of years of money on the sideline as far as what we live off of. But I don't even have to worry about that right now. But we've got plenty, and so next week we're going to be watching the NVAX, see if we can trade it real quick again, and if we can, we'll do it in the IRAs. Cash account, we're going to leave it alone unless something just goes nuts one day. We may just have to try to jump out and then hope for some kind of little small pullback so we can get back in. But and we're not trading. As you can see, the portfolio does not have very many things in it. We're just kind of, I'm actually doing a little playing on the side as far as options go. Got a little Robinhood account, and I'm trading options there. Maybe I'll bring that into this show at some time or another as far as covering some of that on what I'm doing there. It's very simple. I'm just buying calls. I'm new to the options. I don't want to really learn a whole lot more than what I've already got. Calls, maybe puts next. If the market starts to turn, I'll maybe start buying some puts. But and I'm buying them what they call in the money, which means your share price is already higher than your strike price. And then also I'm buying them out a ways to give me plenty of time to make sure that they have a chance to make some money. So, and so far so good. We're doing really good in that account. Not very much money in it, but it's a lot of fun trying to learn. And so that's what we're doing. And I suggest if you're going to get into something like that, always start small. And sometimes it's even better to start with paper trading. But I just put a little money in there just to test it out and see how it goes. Not going to kill me either way. But anyway, it's working good, and my Bitcoin's doing good this year. Bitcoin, actually, I've got 4 different ones now. I've got Bitcoin, Cardano, Ethereum, and Solana. So those are the 4 I'm holding. All seem to be doing pretty good, and this weekend's really a good weekend. So those are some things I'm doing as far as investments go. Always good to kind of diversify. No matter how you want to diversify, you can diversify it by having different stocks, different indexes. Just have your money spread out a little bit. I like to do that. In the early days, I did some stupid things. Those are some things you learn from as far as going all in. Especially, I'm doing that in the cash account, but that's just based off of the NVAX stock. I trust that one. Of course, I can always be proved wrong on that, and could get burned on it. But I'm going to take a chance on that one. But that's not something I normally do. But we're doing it this year because we've had a good year, and we really feel like NVAX is a pretty good thing to have your money in right now, because I think it's nothing but good news. But I can always be wrong, and that has happened before. So do your own due diligence. This is not financial advice in any way, but I hope you have a great week of trading starting tomorrow, and we'll check back in with you probably around Thursday or Friday sometime, and let's just talk about what's going on and see what's happening, okay? Maybe a little earlier. It just depends on what happens with NVAX. If we have a big day of NVAX, we'll probably get on here and talk about that as well. All right? All right, so if you have subscribed, appreciate that. If you have not, don't forget to subscribe by clicking this button right here, and do that before you hang up here, and we'll talk to you later on. Thanks. Have a great day. Bye.